You are sitting in a quiet room, but your mind is loud. You keep checking your phone, waiting for a name that you know should scare you, but instead you feel a sharp hunger for it. Your chest feels tight. Your thoughts won't slow down. You wonder how someone who made you feel invisible can still have this much control over you. You start questioning yourself. Maybe you're weak. Maybe you still love them. Maybe you were the problem all along, but what you're experiencing isn't love and it isn't weakness. It's a biological process that was activated inside your brain without your permission. You are not broken. You are neurologically hijacked. To understand why you can't just walk away, you have to stop looking at this as an emotional failure and start seeing it as a survival response. When you first met them, they didn't show you cruelty. They showed you intensity, attention, and connection that felt unusually powerful. It felt familiar, almost like home. In those early moments, your brain was flooded with dopamine and oxytocin, the chemicals responsible for reward, bonding, and attachment. Your nervous system marked this person as important, as safe, as a source of relief. Then the shift happened. The warmth became unpredictable. The affection turned into distance. Praise turned into criticism. Confusion replaced clarity. This is where trauma bonding begins to form through a mechanism called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same principle that makes gambling addictive. When rewards are inconsistent, the brain doesn't detach. It becomes obsessed. In your relationship, affection became rare and unpredictable. A small moment of kindness after days or weeks of emotional pain didn't just feel good, it felt like relief from suffering. Your brain learned that the same person causing the pain was also the only one who could make it stop. That created a powerful neurological loop where your nervous system stayed attached not for love, but for relief. At the same time, your body was living under constant stress. Cortisol levels stayed high. Your nervous system remained stuck in fight or flight. You became hyper-aware of their moods, their tone, their silence. You learned to walk on eggshells. Over time, this state actually changes how the brain functions. The amygdala, the fear center, becomes overactive while the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic and decision-making, starts to shut down. That's why you feel foggy, confused, and unable to think clearly. You are not losing your mind. Your brain is prioritizing survival over reason. Your attachment system plays a major role here. This system developed early in life to keep you close to caregivers. It is designed to fear abandonment more than discomfort. In survival terms, being alone was once more dangerous than being mistreated. So when this bond is threatened, your body reacts as if your life is at risk. That's why leaving feels physically painful. That's why your chest aches and your stomach drops when you imagine losing them. You are staying because your nervous system believes separation equals danger. To reduce this internal conflict, your brain tries to make sense of the abuse. You focus on their trauma. You remember who they were at the beginning. You tell yourself that if you just say the right thing or act differently, they will change. This is cognitive dissonance. Holding the truth of who they are now is too painful, so your mind clings to the version that once made you feel safe. You are not foolish for believing it. You are trying to survive something your nervous system wasn't ready to accept. Think about the moments when you tried to set a boundary and were met with anger, withdrawal, or punishment. Eventually, you backed down just to make the tension stop. That moment of relief taught your brain that silence equals safety. Over time, you were conditioned to associate your own self-betrayal with survival. That's why your voice feels stuck. That's why speaking up feels dangerous. But the person you are waiting for does not exist anymore, if they ever did. The early version was a mirror carefully constructed to reflect back what would bind you. The version you are dealing with now is the truth. The bond you feel is not a soul connection. It is a knot of hormones, fear, and conditioning. When they reappear just as you begin to detach, with apologies, tears, or promises, that is not love. That is hoovering. They feel the loss of control. If you return, the cycle tightens because they now know exactly how to pull you back in. Healing begins when you stop asking why they are doing this and start listening to what your body is experiencing. Trauma bonds create real withdrawal. There will be days when the craving for them feels overwhelming. In those moments, your brain will minimize the abuse just to get relief. You must remember that craving is not truth. It is chemistry asking for another dose. You are allowed to feel anger for what was done to you and compassion for the part of you that held on to survive. You are not a victim of your heart. You are a survivor of a biological trap. Each day you stay away, you are slowly rewiring your nervous system. You are teaching it that safety does not have to hurt. That peace is not boring. That consistency is healthier than intensity. This journey can feel isolating, especially when others tell you to just move on. They don't understand that you weren't just in a relationship. You were in a neurological prison, and the key out of it is knowledge. Shame thrives in confusion, but it dissolves in understanding. You are here because you are ready for clarity. You are ready to stop disappearing inside the cycle and start rebuilding. Staying connected to truth is what prevents the bond from pulling you back under. You are not alone in this process. By choosing this space, you are choosing reality over illusion and self-respect over chaos. Subscribe and join us as we continue breaking these patterns and rebuilding the self that survived. You are safe here, and you are finally finding your way back to yourself.